with White making their conference debut, Western Illinois in the Summit League, and now joining the OVC.
Ah, tu as entendu ce qu'ils ont dit? With soft injury that couldn't make him play through his sophomore years.
Finding an affiliation for men's soccer because the new conference overall for Liberty Conference USA not have that as one of the sponsored sports. So all of affiliate members and now meeting for the first time in program history as well.
Mais il y avait la caméra sur Alexis, on dit Alexis, on parle de
I feel like these are two evenly matched competitions. It'll be interesting to watch how it plays out. You mentioned already the fact that they have never met before. And so, you know, both coaches kind of going off of game film only right now.
Western Illinois coming in with plenty of momentum. Three-match winning streak. They also finished the non-conference portion of their schedule with 5 wins. They come in with a 5-3-1 record. Those 5 non-conference wins, most for their program since 2016. So a lot of positive energy coming here on the road with the Leathernecks. And right now they're trying to create something, but that ends up being broken up, and now Liberty will look to build again.
Yeah, you mentioned the fact they're on the road, and you know, Coach Johnson did talk about the fact of, you know, they traveling for them is a difficult equation. It's not like they're in a big city with a lot of options. It's interesting how they have to put all that together.
Oh, Alexis.
Playing up to Gabe Finley. This comes in, and that's on goal, and
Bro!
putting it right on frame. Micho, though, that 93% save percentage, he adds to it there.
He does, and he nearly coughed it up. Really good elevation on the header here by Michael Huss. Put it in a pretty good area. I'm sure he would have liked to have gotten it farther into that corner, but opening up really good for Liberty, getting that early opportunity.
Micho making his 4th start of the year, only his 5th match he's participated in. Micah Ramirez actually has the most minutes in goal for Western Illinois, but Micho, with him taking over that role, he's only allowed 1 goal so far in more than 200 minutes, and now with that last save he made, he has 15 saves on the season.
Yeah, coaches, you know, a little bit, they get a little bit superstitious about goalkeepers, and you don't want to talk about them much, but you can tell maybe he thought he's riding the hot hand, and with those numbers you just put out there, he is, and maybe he's feeling like he wants to ride with him while he's hot.
He had 7 saves against Northern Illinois. That earned him the OVC Goalkeeper of the Week honors. That's something Western Illinois actually swept in the previous week. We mentioned Micho. We also have Joel McIntyre, who was the co-defensive player of the week. Puts that away, and he does, wow, quick throw here from Western Illinois, trying to generate something offensively here in the 4th minute. The offensive player of the week in the conference went to Jimmy Bars. So, you know, I don't know. There's no way to track this, I don't think, John, but I think that's pretty impressive that Western Illinois can say they had a week where they swept the conference awards before they had ever played a conference match in the league's history.
That's a good way to look at it. I like that viewpoint right there, and I'm sure it's helping them feel good tonight here. They're coming out with all kinds of momentum, and they want to continue to be on that roll.
All 3 of those awards we mentioned were just named this week, and they were all based on the performances achieved when Western Illinois defeated Northern Illinois. They also had a recent victory against IU Indy 2-1. So again, we're this 3-match winning streak for the Leathernecks. Well, that's about 5 minutes in, John. We'll take a look at our keys to the match. Keys to the match are presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. There's no need to consult the playbook. The winning strategy is to always designate a sober driver because fans don't let fans drive drunk.
We talk about Western Illinois keeping Liberty uncomfortable. They're a team, Liberty, that likes to dictate tempo, and when they get that tempo going, they can really make it hard on an opponent. And Western Illinois going to try to keep them out of that tempo early on. Liberty right now working on another key to the match, and that's score early, and they were getting into the attacking third, and they continue to do it right here as they push a ball out to the touch line, pick up Swinehart out there.
Liberty knocking around here, and now ultimately loses possession.
Yes!
And getting past midfield, now played all the way back to Moore by the Flames. Moore coming off of 6 saves at nationally ranked Clemson. Did that in just 72 minutes. That was a match that ended up being halted due to inclement weather. Liberty fell 1-0, but on the road against a team that has as much national pedigree as Clemson. Of course, you're always looking for a different result, but not bad for certainly for Owen Moore as well as 6 saves.
Yeah, not at all. Owen came up really big that night, and Liberty as a whole played very, very tactically, Kyle. And they defended well, defended hard, but when they got their opportunities to get out in the counterattack, they really did it well and had a couple opportunities where they could have gotten into goal.
Liberty, a team that has put up some strong offensive numbers, more than 2 goals per game, which is 27th in the nation, 2.17 goals per game. Even though the record is 2-3-1, Liberty has outscored its opponents 13-9 on the season so far.
Yeah, you're right. They have been very prolific and early on here. And as a coach, you gotta love that. And if they can clean it up on the back line a little bit, they could really maybe line up a few matches in a row and get some really good results. Western Illinois, and we've talked about it a little bit, compared to a year ago, they are off to a really good start offensively at their own. And that's why we mentioned Liam Gainey and players like that who are making a big difference just by the fact that they're healthy. And Coach Johnson talked about how many players they had go out a year ago with injuries, particularly in the attacking end.
Yeah, yes. Last year was a rough one for Western Illinois, ended up finishing with a 2-14-1 record, but they have come back masterfully this season. And it's a team that only has 3 seniors. Now they do have 11 juniors, so they have some veteran experience from that standpoint, but only 3 seniors on this team. But they have again risen to the occasion with producing the most non-conference wins in 8 years. That was a handling there on the Flames. So Western Illinois here with it as 8 minutes have elapsed. Those 11 juniors are offset by 11 freshmen, so they have an interesting mix. You don't typically see big classes like that. I know we're coming out of this extra year of eligibility for the COVID season, and some bigger classes were produced by that, but typically you see a bulk in just one of the classification years. Western Illinois has managed to have 11 freshmen and 11 juniors. Doesn't leave much for those in-between years.
Yeah, Coach Johnson mentioned the fact that, really they are a young team when you look at the 11 freshmen. But then with those juniors, you put them together, they play like a much older team. And, he was, you can tell he was looking forward to not only 2024, but 2025, when those, juniors will then really be veteran leadership for the team.
Down here, and Liberty will have this in an interesting spot. We'll take another look here at Gabe Finley.
Yeah, great ball work there by Finley. Got the defender to command and take his legs out. Really in a great area to take the kick from right here.
Standing behind the ball, everybody else.
Oh, Alexis.
Alexis. Ça c'est dangereux.
Alexis. In for the goal.
Finley.
Oh!
And coming right back toward him after being headed around now. Finley will booted again with the right foot. This time it becomes a corner kick.
So Finley earned a free kick, getting fouled, and then a corner kick by managing to get one over the defender there. Two good opportunities for Liberty to get an early look on goal.
Coach's son already has 3 assists on the season. He has started every match. Here comes the corner kick. And ended up going on top of the goal and behind.
As a player, when I took a corner like that, I would always look at the wind like I blamed it on the wind. I would put my hand up there like the wind blew that out of play. It had nothing to do with the strike I put on the ball. It was all wind.
What did you do then when that ball went actually into the wind to get out of play?
Headshot kill!
Still the wind.
I didn't actually blame it on actual wind direction. I just made sure everybody realized it couldn't have been my fault.
That's right. You know, and I commend you for that because that's a trait you've been able to carry into the broadcast booth with you after your playing days. Offside here on Western Illinois.
Western Illinois looked good getting to the it looked like they were getting into the attack third. Unfortunately, Walker just got a little bit too ahead of the play, got called off there. I believe that was Gagnon that got a little bit too advanced into the attack there. But that looked good. I mean, that was I wouldn't call it a counterattack by Western Illinois, but a very organized process through the midfield to get into that attacking third.
Gagnon, the sophomore out of Quebec. He does have 3 goals and 3 assists this season, so certainly one to keep an eye on. Western Illinois squad has some individuals that have put together some impressive numbers, to say the least. Meanwhile, for Liberty, it's been a more evenly distributed attack. I mentioned earlier they have 13 goals on the season. They have had 9 different goal scorers already this year. Only went down there, but play continues as Western Illinois gets out to the right. Has something going here. The ball that he was trying to play in was instead redirected by the
Ça fait clac-clac ses pieds.
Ty Duax, one of the freshmen on this team that's been getting significant minutes, making his 6th start of the year. Western Illinois in its 9th match overall, and the freshman already has a couple of goals this season. There's the ball.
Yeah, really well read by Moore right there. That ball could have been in trouble if he had not, read it perfectly right off the time it was hit off the foot.
The ball that was played over the top was seeking Liam Gainey, so we talked about him as a player to watch. That might be a scenario to watch as well. Here's Finley on the move. Once he gets going, he plays it over to Blay. Has to reverse for a moment. And that will end up going off to Blay last.
On se pas vu, mais quasiment mieux que les pros parce que qu'il y a plus d'action. Parce que les pros, quand pas s'arrête à chaque 5 minutes à cause de l'adresse.
Referees looked at each other and they both agreed on it. Blay is a good example of a modern defender in the college game. You watched him on the ball, comfortable, could take people on off the dribble, but looking like an attacker.
Check-les, check ta gang!
Playing out to his side. This is Gainey on it. Gainey leaves it for Duax. He tries to return it to Gainey. There's Blay covering all of that ground, getting back defensively and claiming it for LU.
Yeah, when you get that far into the attack, like as a defender like Blay did, you're going to pay a price, and he did well at working hard enough to get back on the ball, break down that attack for Western Illinois.
Je pense que c'est pas la liaison.
its 9th match this year. They've played the bulk of their schedule on the road. They already have a 2-3-1 mark on the road. You mentioned they've won 3 in a row overall. They've also won 5 of the last 6, but not only having some success overall, but they are road tested as well, so seem to be just fine here on the road, 15 minutes in.
Yeah, they've looked very comfortable on both ends of the field early on.
Now Liberty trying to get something going here in play. Finley combination we've called a lot already, but instead this time it's taken away from Finley, and Western Illinois will size up situation. Starting to work it over toward the far side. Now they will have it on the left. Working across the back line.
Il était un peu stressé, je pense.
Cross comes down and it'll be corner kick.
Yeah, good work by Liberty right there. They kind of gave up possession there for a couple of minutes. We were talking to Coach Finley earlier. He talked about how Liberty has, for the last few years, has been a high press team. They like to turn teams over, getting the goal quickly. But the new substitution rules and the rules on re-entry, he mentioned the fact that kind of changes that a little bit. You can't have that 25 minutes of incredible effort. You need to have players play longer than you did a year ago.
Corner kick from Finley. And now it's volley.
Oh,
Liberty has the lead. Michael Huss getting over there again.
Great ball played back in there. I was watching the assistant referee to make sure the flag didn't come up, and the two referees made eye contact and agreed that was a goal. Take a good look. Great ball played by Finley. Ball comes off of a defender. And hit that beautiful angle head right there.
His 5th goal of the season came in tied for the conference lead in that category, and now he stands alone, 5 goals, best in the OVC currently.
Okay.
If you're Liberty, that's it goes without saying, but that's the kind of start you want to get off to, and now things tend to get more comfortable for a team after they play the ball around with that 1 goal early lead.
On a la pression. Faut en mettre un.
See how Western Illinois responds.
Oh.
Liberty, the conference opener for both teams. Liberty was picked to finish second in the league this year.
Go team!
Leathernecks trying to beat it up quickly. Instead,
tellement fait que mon siège s'est mis tout direct.
Clear it.
Oh!
Haas able to keep it in along the touchline. Still chasing after it. Liberty finished that point, picked finish second this year. Ended up finishing 4-4-2 conference mark.
Mais pourquoi t'es aussi slow? Mais donne-y un kick qui a du sens!
Played back to him by Trot there, that's why he couldn't pick that up.
Il a fait sa rentrée. Il n'était pas en arrêt de la ligne quand il a fait sa touche.
Assistant referee on that side, giving the referee's attention, and now Liberty will throw it in from similar to that spot.
Bonne technique pour gagner quelques centimètres.
I was tracking the ball down and did not see what happened over there.
I'm with you on that one too. I'm not sure why that came
Un
back.
point d'erreur de Junior, papa, c'est une erreur de... Mettons, moi je le savais.
Evidently a deflection occurred that neither one of us were aware of. It looked like most of the players
The
were
heat
not
of the
aware of it
moment.
either, but they're back into play here. But both teams doing well. I feel like they're both able to move the ball around, pick out teammates, get through the midfield when they want to. Liberty being a little bit more deliberate at the moment, but both teams really, looking like they feel good tonight, and they are, they're confident in their ability to get to the attacking end.
23, il est bon quand même.
Everly. Everly on it again. One touch looking for Finley. Now Western Illinois. And that will end up finding Blay instead.
Krakowiak on the ball there. He's just a fun player to watch. You can tell how talented he is by, he gets his head up. He can play the ball into areas that he's not looking at. Really good at picking out teammates.
Oh,
Coming
ok.
on this team out of Ontario. He is
Papa, Alexis, je pense que
started every
j'ai juste
match
à
this
éloigner
year.
la balle. Il a vraiment eu un coup des deux, puis il a dit, ben, ça mange la balle. Je l'envoie dans le fond. Comme ça, la touche est loin. Je veux juste pas avoir un autre goal.
Krakowiak, hailing from Ontario as a newcomer, he made one stop in the Commonwealth before making it all the way to Lynchburg as this ball is over the top of Blay and wound up going out of play. Krakowiak was at James Madison, a couple hours up the road, and then made his way to Liberty to continue his collegiate career.
Hein?
Son exécution de la touche.
Ah non, mais elle était molle.
Here he is on the ball right
Quand ils sont en
now,
arrière de la ligne.
and he's taken down.
Absorbing pressure right there, and pressure that not really shoulder to shoulder came into the back area a little bit. That's what caused him to go down.
La barre.
Right
Okay,
there, right
right,
there, you'll
right.
hear a player tell you that was shoulder to shoulder, but that was actually shoulder to the back. And too much leverage gotten off that.
And a little bit too much conversation as well after that. That was Jimmy Bars who was kind of pleading what you had just said. You'll sometimes hear players say, well, in that case it did happen, and the referee took a moment to go over and speak directly to him, and now play resumes. Finley, and Liberty will throw it in from there.
Yeah, Liberty tonight looking, very clever in the attacking third. They are making, even when they don't quite connect it, they're making some really, really difficult balls to defend, and looking like they really make it another opportunity to get into goal again if they keep it up.
So we are playing it all the way back to Skylar Stricker, now up on the right side with Swinehart, who's weaving around past one leather net.
Allez, fais juste courir, man! Mais man, je sais pas qu'est-ce que tu dois faire.
Pousse à gauche, là.
Weaving
On dirait
past
qu'il
a
manque de
couple of
confiance.
opposing players.
Dépassé.
This ball leads his teammate too far, and
Ok.
Liberty will
Ouf.
advance it
Ouais, il
here.
donne l'avantage.
Advantage play right there. Good advantage play by the official.
Allez. Bon.
And came up and caught the forearm of Oscar Gravelius, the native
Non,
of Sweden.
il arrête
Yeah,
là.
that arm was just out a little bit too far to call it a natural position.
Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Ah, jaune.
And now a yellow card has been shown.
Jaune parce qu'il a kické la balle ailleurs un peu
Our
de
referee today is not going to allow
Oh
much
my
discussion,
goodness.
it would appear, after whistles, unless I missed something else. But that was clearly a yellow card, and that appeared to be what was the case. Was a little bit too much protesting, perhaps.
Yeah, definitely
too much
going
protesting.
in the book, as they call it.
Alexis, il aurait dit à son équipe, ah, laissez-la, laissez.
I did not catch a number on who went into the book,
Ça,
but
Alexis, j'ai pas le temps de te parler.
we'll get it here momentarily.
I like your confidence that we'll get that in.
Oui. Xavier Gagnon qui est un jaune.
Xavier Gagnon will receive that yellow. You're right.
Xavier Gagnon, il a too much complaining.
Usually,
C'est pas ça ou c'est peut-être parce que
it wasn't my confidence that they would get the information out. It was our confidence in noticing and getting the information accurate.
yeah, I was looking for that graphic or getting
There it is.
Yeah.
Ça se fait pas, c'est à cause
Our production crew has our backs at all times, that's for sure.
Really taking another corner kick here. And, yeah, they've been pretty good at creating opportunities off of these, and let's see if that continues right here.
Come on,
Third
go.
of the day, and that rebound from close range. Oh my gosh,
rebound.
right on the doorstep. But instead, nothing to show for LU. But boy, that got the crowd excited.
Yeah, that's what you call creating point blank
Oh,
shot.
ça volait sur le cou à quelqu'un.
Somebody, but before that shot
De
was
son
even
propre joueur.
taken, he called a foul. You know,
Ben,
right
Alexis,
into
il a
the
touché.
goalkeeper right there.
C'est pas ici qui avait collé le fond.
Non.
J'ai entendu coller une affaire.
But when you're coaching, and you love it when your team is creating those type of looks, you know, off of, particularly off of a corner kick like that.
That was not kept in long and running there, so it'll be a goal kick for Western Illinois. We talked about Liberty, again, it comes in with a 2-3-1 record, so more losses than wins, but at the same time, they've outscored their opponents 13-9 this year. They've also held even in corner kicks. They came in 30 for themselves, 30 by their opponents. As I'll have a throw in here, but 3-0 advantage so far in that category. Of course, the one goal on the board. So Liberty has done a great job creating these opportunities, and they're in the attacking third again.
Yeah, you mentioned their record, but as we've talked about many a time, the only part of this season that really matters for them is conference play, and now they enter it tonight. And from here on out, every match is do or die. You want to get as high up into the conference as you can. Not only to get in the tournament, but to win the tournament. You know that if you want to bid into the NCAA tournament, it's going to require you to go all the way and win the OVC championship.
Fourth corner kick for Liberty.
Aux installations, mais les bancs de joueurs, les coachs et des chaises
Ball
pliantes.
bending in, and flag is up.
I
And
don't
that
call.
was a foul there. Boy, another great opportunity for Liberty. That ball available just within a few feet
Oh,
of the
il arrête
goal.
le temps encore.
Player slow to get up though for Liberty. Keep an eye on that.
Yeah, I believe he actually called him for handling, and I did not get a good look at it, but maybe while he was laying on the ground, arm reached out, I'm not sure, but you could tell the Western Illinois player's hands went up immediately.
Oh, il y a sûrement
It was hard to get a look
un
there.
genou d'en face.
I think it was
Un
right
joueur de
there
l'autre équipe.
when Huss got hit in the head. I think he reached his arm up trying to block the ball, didn't get all of it.
Friendly looking on, his team up by a goal.
Substitution for Liberty.
And was it in the head, Mark?
Spencer Moeller coming in along with Leo Kane, and here's see us heading out for now. We were talking about conference play, John. Conference play is unique in OVC with the way some of that schedule is balanced. Western Illinois is one of the teams. Liberty will end up playing a home and home
Bon
with,
sang,
so
let's go.
we'll actually play Western Illinois.
Oui,
Just a couple weeks off.
Ouais, pousse ça à droite.
Yeah, that's a pretty quick turnaround, to play such twice in a period of time.
Oui!
Western Illinois right now.
Hey!
That foul as Finley got bumped from behind.
Ouais, parce que
Able to get position there on game.
Hayden Finley has a gift for that. You know, his quickness, he can get into areas that people don't realize he's going to get there before them, and then draw that contact. And you know, really, it's a great weapon to have, particularly when you get up in the attacking end of the field.
Vu que ça marche pas, Pandémie, il essaie d'attaquer le banc adverse. On a ça même. Comme ça, on les yeux, qu'il y en avait une coupe qui joue pas. On a servi dans le game, c'est pas ça. Non, je sais pas. Ça me
You know, 5
frustre,
minutes
mais ça
before
veut
the
dire
match, you and I were kind of commenting on the
ça.
fact that
Ok.
the crowd had not filled in yet. It's filled in now.
Yeah,
So
it has.
it's definitely a packed house here tonight.
Yeah. Always finds a way to do that.
Coach va sûrement leur dire là, les gars. Ouais,
Check in
ouais,
with
ouais.
Amy Corey here as play continues in the first half.
Yeah, Kyle, you brought up earlier Owen Moore with some outstanding saves in their match against Clemson, and his goalkeeping all season has been something that's really caught Coach Finley's eye. And Coach said a huge part of Owen's improvement this season has been the work he's done with Jake Berry, who oversees the team's goalkeepers. Coach Berry told me that Owen is a bit of an undersized keeper, so they focus on elevating his game in two main spots, defending his area and working off the ball. He's focused on covering the space between the back line and the goal when the ball moves over to the flank, just getting more mature coming off his line, and then in working off the ball, he's just refining his communication to the weak side of the field where the ball isn't. He'll wear a pair of goggles in practice that cut off his peripheral vision and force him to take his focus off the ball at some points. And Coach Berry said he's fully bought into the process. He said, you know, this training has really sold Owen on the product, and he's been showing it all season long.
Allez! Mais sérieux!
Yeah, that's great info right there. I hadn't heard that one before, and I'd like to get a look at a pair of glasses like that. I'm a little bit convinced that there may be people locally driving with those glasses on. Now that I think about it, that's for another day.
No, I think that's for today. No, I agree with that assessment as well.
Ok, ils font des changements là.
Look at that sequence
Ah,
right
bon,
there.
Yeah, pretty easy call to make right there. Just discarded the player.
John A. called for that foul.
There's that old adage, when you come into the game, you want people to hear your name. That may have been behind that foul right there.
C'est une lettre pour chauffer. Là, ça commence à rire. Wow! On est trop vite.
Finley looking for Swinehart.
Merci.
Everly looking up that right side. And that ball's driven over the goal.
Yeah, that was going to be a tough shot, even if you hit it well. You know, it was a tough angle, pretty far out. Keeper had it really well covered.
Liberty showing 4 shots so far.
Wait.
2 have been on goal. Of course,
That's it.
1 in the goal. Western Illinois, though they've been in the attacking third here and there, they do not have a shot at all, alone 1 on goal. And as we noted earlier, it hasn't changed the corner kick discrepancy as well. All 4 corner kicks have been taken so far. But this could change things in a hurry as a foul is taken just outside of the penalty area. Western Illinois will be glad to look at its options here.
Watching the replay, that did not look like a whole lot. Watching it live, I definitely thought it was a foul, but hard to tell on that replay. But I trust the official on that one.
Yeah, that was Diego Porras, who you see on the screen right now as well, but he was the one that was fouled. He had just subbed in, so that's an even better way to get your name called after just subbing in is to draw the foul.
Yeah, particularly if he can convert right.
Yeah.
He may move into the starting 11.
Je pense que c'est encore dehors, non? On veut-tu entrer?
He drives it right into the wall.
Oh my
and his second effort goes all the way to the baseball stadium.
Yeah, the first one would not have gotten into the shot category.
Wow, maman,
I
on
think
peut
they'll give
commencer
him
sur des
credit
affaires
for
de...
a shot, not on frame for the second.
Non, lui, Rosé,
Of
là.
course, is a name that, you know, Coach Johnson mentioned in our talk and talked about how he's coming off of an injury, but really kind of a dynamic attacking player, and he kind of showed it right there when they got into that attack initially.
Sophomore out of Mexico. Here he is actively defending against Belay. So, yeah, he has come in for just a couple of minutes, but very high work rate out of him so far.
I feel like he's actually raised the level of the tempo of the match right now. Both teams really playing at a high tempo.
Has not appeared in all of the matches for Muscanola. With those 6 that he has, he does have a couple of goals. And here's Liberty looking for its second goal of the day. That ball deflected and ends up going out for the 5th corner kick for LU.
Yeah, great combination work there by LU in the middle of the field and nearly created another good opportunity. But as you mentioned, number 5 corner kick coming up. The last 2 have resulted in, you know, pretty good opportunities for Liberty, defended, you know, fairly well by Western Illinois, but they're getting in there on them right now.
Liberty averages 5 corner kicks per match. This is their 5th of the first half.
Whoa!
And that ends up on goal. Michaud has to make the save. It was right, not just right on frame for the goal, it was right on Michaud's frame as well. He was able to make that catch right in front of his eyes.
Everly with a good elevation, able to get it on frame, as you mentioned, unfortunately right at Michaud, but you work on, you know, on corners in particular a lot as a coach, and when you get opportunities directly off of them, you're really happy with your team, even though they may not convert all of them.
Faut aller sur le ballon, pas sur le gars.
That was nearly a play in behind the defenders there.
And that was Spencer Mola, one of the players who subbed in for Liberty, trying to generate something. Freshman out of Lake Mary, Florida. He's appeared in every single match so far for Liberty in his freshman campaign. Averages around 35 minutes or so per match. So
that's pretty good for a freshman.
I was just about to say,
player,
some pretty good minutes.
And when you're playing behind the attacking group that he is, I mean, any minutes you get are great.
Yeah, here he is on the ball again. He'll send it out to the right. Swinehart. And Michaud will go to get it.
Yeah, you can tell Coach Finley must be pretty high on Moeller to be giving him that much playing time. Early on, just him entering the match here, he's kind of showing us why. He's looked very effective.
Éclaté dans le sens du poil.
Three LU players are waiting to sub in at the next opportunity. Less than 10 minutes remaining in this half. The lone goal so far is Michael Huss, scored in the 17th minute.
They made an opening.
Kind of work there, and Kane eventually will be called for a foul.
Yeah, really good battle over there by Kane. Unfortunate to end up getting, on the end of that, getting called for a foul. But really, you gotta love that effort, that work rate. Not to be denied until the whistle blew.
Now we'll see these subs we just mentioned for Liberty. Lots of players coming on and off. Less than 9 minutes remaining in the half. There you see Elijah John was one of the players coming off. Gabe Finley heading out.
I believe Gora may have entered the match over there too.
Tyree Allen, the other name that was called, a freshman who has a goal on the year. Ball's put up here along the right. Good work there by Ellis trying to get something going, but Rebellious not able to do much there. Now, throw it in. Brief moment of uncertainty, but Liberty clears it. Now Western Illinois once again getting back into this attacking play, looking to create something from the left side. Liberty up to the task defensively initially. Staying on it. Right at the top of the 18, shot did not make it far. It ended up taking a high hop and staying on goal. So more did have to track that one all the way in.
Good work there by Liberty, not letting him have that wide open look. It looked like he had created an angle, but at the last minute deflection, it did occur. But right now, Western Illinois keeping Liberty as we talked about, making them defend more than they have in the early part of the match.
Pass intended for Nora Gore, who we mentioned just subbed in. Comes out of his range. That's off of Bowler for LU. That was Tyree Allen there for Liberty.
Yeah, good little, I would call that a shielding off the ball right there, enabling him to maintain possession. Liberty kind of taking their time right now. I think they want to get back into being organized. They were defending really hard and they couldn't play out of the back for a while. Now they're coming into the final third under control.
One from distance that carries all the way in for Michaud to handle it cleanly.
And not the look we were getting from both teams a little bit earlier in the match, where they both looked like they were really moving the ball well, particularly through the midfield. They're kind of, trading.
As you say that, though, there is Liberty. And now, corner kick number 6 on the way in this first half.
Yeah, good pressure by that ball played in behind. But still, even that was not really a build-up to the midfield, just a well-timed ball up the middle, forcing a clearance off the end line.
Gore will take this corner kick.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that I've seen him take a lot of corners, so this will be a good one to watch.
The ball is punched up in the air by Michaud. Now ends up off to the right side of the penalty area. Gore is still over there, playing it in. It comes back out. Liberty standing on it, though, trying to keep this pressure on. That ball void in, and it's offside anyway. But Liberty doing a little bit better than what you were just commenting on there, John. That was much better, moving the ball around and trying to make something happen. Now another player is down.
Yeah, really good looking aerial volley played across the middle, and unfortunately it looks like the attacking player there for Liberty caught a little contact off of the keeper.
there was
Qui arrête là.
that contact that happened there.
Je sais pas là, Alexis n'a pas fait exprès. Il était déjà dans les airs.
Stops the clock with 3:27 remaining in the first half. And now the athletic trainer will come out to take a look. That's Calderon getting up and seems to be better now, has collected himself. And he does have to go off. The referee is telling him he does because the athletic training staff did come out to at least look at him. He at least has to go off initially. He was heading back into position, but
he does. I thought he had actually managed to bypass that rule, and I was just keeping an eye on it.
I really was. He made it very far.
And the referee kind of looked at him and then looked at the trainer, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to make you feel."
And now he's waving back on, which again is standard, but you do have to at least exit the playing surface initially.
Let's go! Let's go!
Illinois, look at it.
Wow!
Become the first corner kick for Western Illinois, but the Leathernecks were within a foot there of tying it up.
Yeah, great ball strike, and I think that would have maybe been a goal if that had gone in.
C'est lui qui m'a sauvé!
That direction was completely changed by the
2 secondes
deflection.
plus vite pour régler le.
That hits the outside of the goal.
That right upright taking a beating here in the last 30 seconds of the match. We could hear the clank off of the upright as that
Il était short.
rolled right into it.
Similar to how I feel sometimes in the broadcast booth. Just minding my own business for 42 minutes, and all of a sudden I get walloped out of nowhere by you, blindsided.
I was hoping I was not going to be on the end of that little story. I realized I probably was.
There's nobody else in the booth, John.
Yeah.
Who else was going to be in that story?
I was looking maybe at the Chick-fil-A box.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Western Illinois got to be pretty happy here at the pressure they have put on Liberty in the last couple of minutes. And just for a while there, Liberty had been putting all the pressure on, and the fact that Western Illinois is finding a little bit of love, if you wanted to call it, or joy by attacking on the outside of the field, which they've been going down the middle a lot early on. That could have been a card right there. A referee let it play on because the counterattack continued.
Everybody showing his strength to work through that contact.
Allez, continue un peu, toi.
Try to
Continue.
create something off that advantage. And now it'll be instead Liberty working with it as we approach the final minute. Gora back to Moeller. Still Gora and Moeller, two-man game for a moment. And that pass off the mark. So
Yeah, Gora and Moeller playing a really nifty little two.
Let's go, Louis, c'est temps d'attaquer.
Field, and they wanted to try to maybe advance it farther, but never quite able to.
now Moeller on it again. This time he'll play it out to the right. Plenty of time here for Liberty, although somebody urging somebody to hustle over and get the ball before that statement is no longer true. 30 seconds and counting. They will throw it in here and see what they can do. Final effort of the first half for the Flames. This is Stricker.
Oh, c'est une belle touche, ça.
Long throw into the area. And now only a few seconds remaining, so this time the clock will perhaps run out on Stricker. He throws it in with 5 on the clock, and nothing doing for the Flames to end the half. But earlier in the half, it was Michael Huss in the